What's some of the advice you give to Trey when it comes to being a good special teams player?
I mean, it's not much advice to give to Trey, man. You can't coach that type of speed. You know what I mean? I would just say own it. Know who you are, be confident in it, and be fearless.
You've been in the league a while. What do you feel like that provides, in terms of helping in the locker room and with the team after a tough loss against the
I think just morale, man. I've seen it all. I've been on really good teams. I've been on teams that didn't perform that well, so I try to stay as even keel as possible. And I'm a jokester in the locker room. I like to have fun. I like to make guys feel like no matter what's going on, I'm going to be the same person, and hopefully we can get a lot of people reflecting that same energy.
Who have, this year in 24, who have you taken a mentorship role to maybe the most, a name or two?
Definitely Dylan Lowry. I think it was Ja'Cory Bennett. He's an Alabama kid. I'm from Alabama, so I got a soft spot for him. But definitely, any rookie that comes up. The good thing about this rookie class in general is they're sponges, man. They want to learn. They want to be good pros. And they want to have long careers, so they're not shy. Sometimes you get young guys coming in feeling like, their pride's a little bit too big. They don't want to ask questions. They don't want to really put themselves out there, socially. But these young guys they're definitely hungry to be better, which is going to make this team better.
Yeah, what have you thought of, I know Ja'Cory pulling up now, what have you thought of his improvement? He's had some good PBUs in the first couple weeks.
Man, a lot of people say improvement. He's always been this player, if he's playing confident, he's playing aggressive, no one's going to run past him. He's one of the fastest guys on the team. So he's a guy who, if he plays with the confidence that, he needs to play with every single day, he's going to be an elite player.
Thanks, Ameer.
Ameer, you played a lot of football in your day. I'm curious as to if you can pinpoint what do you think the biggest thing holding the offense back is right now?
I would just say timing, execution. Everyone has to do that 111. I'm sure you've heard Coach PG say that. I'm sure you've heard Coach Getsy say that. It's 11 guys on the field. It's something that's special about the game of football. It's really not about one player. You see the media cover the quarterback a lot. They may cover a guy like Maxx or Devontae a lot. But if everyone else isn't doing their job, you would never hear about those guys. And those are the things that's holding us back right now. It's just one guy here, another guy there. And it isn't things that are like selfish, things. It's more so just like straining. Doing the most you can on every single rep, because you never know when the ball might come back to you. You got to make that block, or you got to do whatever, myself included. So, yeah.
How do you guys kind of keep that focus and kind of keep that same edge that you had going into the Panthers game, moving forward after a tough loss?
We got 14 more. That was an NFC loss. You know what I'm saying? We're in the AFC conference, so everything we want is still out in front of us. We got a great opportunity in front of us with an AFC team this weekend. So I know guys will be motivated to get that taste out of their mouth, knowing that everything that we want is still out in front of us.
How do you feel? What percentage do you think you are right now? Are you 100%?
Man, yeah, I'm on the field, so I'm 100%.
What stands out to you when you look at Cleveland on film?
It's a good football team, but you got to come and just dominate them each and every play. That's what we got to do to bounce back from last weekend.
You told me last year that one of the things you like to do when you watch film is look at yourself and what you think you need to get better at. So what are you working on?
Man, really just technique and just training my eyes to look at the right things so I can react quicker.
Did you remember watching Deshaun Watson at all, like in Clemson or even early in his NFL career before you got in the league?
Yeah, for sure. I watched Clemson. They was always a top school when he played, and I always used to think I was a skilled player. So I liked his game.
You feel like he can still play at a high level even if he hasn't been as productive as he was, back in Houston?
Yeah, I feel like he can still play at a high level. Yeah.
And it just looks like you bring a lot of energy in the locker room today at practice. At some of the before stretches, you're almost like doing the Maxx Crosby thing, like jumping up high for high knees and everything. You trying to do that with Maxx in mind, try to fill that role a little bit in practice?
Man, he does this at the highest level, so when he ain't there on the field, somebody else got to bring the energy. I try to bring the energy for myself and for others to feed off of.
When you talk about training your eyes, but we just talked to Patrick Graham today. He went off on a whole tangent about how important that is to him. How much of that comes from him?
Man, it comes from him and Robbie Lemon. Everybody really. You can't play football by looking in the backfield trying to chase plays. Because you'll get embarrassed. So you got to look at your key first and see what read you get for your key and then react off of that.
Is that what he means when he talks about vision leads to precision?
Yeah, I mean, it also comes from, your hands. If your hands ain't in the right spot and the offensive lineman gets you, you're done. So you got to look at the offensive lineman and get your hands and get extensions to be able to work off of them.
How far do you feel like you've come with those little subtleties just in the year and a half or 2 years since you've been in the NFL?
Man, I feel like I came a long ways. Usually it was rushing chest to chest. Now I'm trying to rush from extension and be able to convert off of.
Is that one of the things, you're so gifted physically? God's just given you gifts some of us will just never have. So in college you were able to dominate, but in the NFL everybody's gifted. Is that where maybe technique becomes even bigger?
Yeah, I mean, technique is the biggest part of it. I feel like other NFL, that's what's different in college. You can win just because, you got an advantage of some other players, but in the NFL everybody's good. So, that's what everything you do is about technique so that you can win the matchups.
How much pressure do you put on yourself to really perform at a high level now, especially with Maxx kind of being down a little bit? How much pressure do you think that puts on yourself, or is it no pressure at all?
Man, I wouldn't really say it's pressure. It's just do your job. Because when people say put the pressure on me, they try to do the unordinary and try to beat somebody else. But I feel like once you go out there and train all week to perform at the highest level, you go on the field and you just do your job, and the plays that come. Like when I talked to Maxx against Baltimore, some things I got from him was like, I'm always like, Maxx, go get something. He just play the next play. So I kind of take that mindset into these games now. Just focus on the next play and not the play after that or the play that you just did.
Just in general for yourself, is confidence like riding higher than ever?
Man, yeah, you gotta. I feel like to be the player I want to be, you gotta have confidence, and confidence comes from preparation and training. So I feel like I go on the field and I go out there and work. So of course my confidence is gonna continue to grow.
How do you think this defense is going to respond Sunday after Carolina?
Man, just like anybody, you get knocked down, we got to get back up and come back and fight, because, we see our defense as being one of the best defenses in the NFL, so you can't continue to stay on the ground. You got to get back up and respond.
Thanks, Tyre.
Yeah.
As somebody that's always such a kind of perfectionist of everything you do, is it tough to maybe not be able to give like 150% every play?
Yeah, I mean that's the hardest part. It's like, I play one way, and when you're not able to do certain things, it's tough. But I did everything I can to try to produce, and I feel like I did some things, some good things, but it's just it's tough. I have a damn Timberland boot size wrapping on my leg, and it's like, it's tough. So, but at the end of the day, I don't complain. It's like I said, I'm focused on getting healthy, just taking it one day at a time.
Do you have any concern about being able to play this week?
I'm not worried about that right now. I'm just worried about today. So, every single day I've been in here, first in, last out, doing everything I can to, get healthy. So that's all I'm worried about right now.
After watching the film Sunday, any takeaways as far as things you're seeing during the game?
We're not really worried about Sunday. It's gone. It's in the past. We just got to learn from it and improve, and that's all we're focused on. So, that's really all that matters. You can't dwell on the past. Everything in this league is just, it's about learning from tough experiences, and it's how you respond. And that's what I've learned. That's why I'm here today. That's why my teammates are here. We're here for one reason, that's to win. And no matter what everybody has to say, it clearly wasn't good enough. Everyone knows that. But that's why it's a beautiful thing. I got another chance to go out there and prove everybody wrong.
You measure yourself against the greats, Myles Garrett on the other side. I know you're not against him in the field, but
yeah.
How exciting is that kind of matchup?
Yeah, I got a ton of respect for him. Hell of a player. Me and him, we've spent a lot of time, last few years, at the Pro Bowl together and different events, NFL honors, all different type of things. And me and him, we got a good relationship. He's an incredible player. Got everything you can imagine from a skill set standpoint, athleticism, strength, everything. He's just a hell of a player. So when you have a guy like that, line up on the other side, it's it's a healthy competition. So got nothing but respect for him.
Who's a better basketball player?
Me, for sure.
Have you played against him?
No. I'm just taking myself as Lucas.
He's got good dunking videos.
No, he's a freak athlete though. I won't lie. I feel like if me and him, if they were like to pick two bigs and in the league to be on the starting five, I feel like me and him and Christian would have a crazy duo. So yeah.
Maxx, who else do you feel like alongside you and Myles Garrett is on that tier around the league, in the highest tier of this position?
mean, that's tough. There's so many good guys out there. You know, it's not for me to really decide. You know, at the end of the day, it's a lot of different opinions. You know, for me, like I look at guys like, I mean, it's tough. I would say, I mean, you got to put TJ up there for sure. There's another guy that I look at like that similar, like the way I play the game. I feel like he's that other guy that I look at like, damn, okay, this motherfucker is not stopping. You know what I mean? And he's relentless. He wrecks games. I think that's what separates, you know, him and myself. And, you know, a guy like Miles, Bosa, Nick, obviously, Nick Bosa. Yeah, that's how it goes. You know, there's a few other guys. Hutchinson's starting to really come on. He's a hell of a player. There's a lot of guys out there, but yeah, those are like the ones that come to mind. Then you got like a GOAT like Von Miller, you know what I mean? A dude like that he's first ballot Hall of Famer, still getting after it. So, yeah.
It seemed like Tyree had some nice snaps on Sunday, and he's obviously going to play a bigger role for you guys going forward now that he's healthier.
Yeah.
Take pride in some of his development, and just what are you telling him about going forward?
You know, like any guy that I get to be around, like I want to influence, you know what I mean, in a positive way. And that's got nothing to do with, you know, I don't take credit for it. You know, he's the one that's got to put the work in every single day. So, yeah, he's got a lot of room to improve, but he knows that, and he's getting better every day. So, as a young player, there's always room for improvement. And even as a guy like myself or Devontae, there's always room for growth and improvement. So, he's in the early stage of his career, and I know a lot of people have expectations and things like that, but in reality, he shows up every day, and he's learning how to be a professional. So he's still got room to grow, but he's come a long way, and I'm happy that, you know, he's starting to get into his own groove. So yeah, it's awesome.
Tyree was showing like a lot of energy in practice, almost even more than normal. Is it, you know, almost like trying to fill that Maxx Crosby role, be the guy who leads with energy and everything? You talk to him about that, and do you like to hear or see that from Tyree?
You know, that's good to hear. You know, at the end of the day, like we have, like as we talk about it, like our D-line room is supposed to be the engine for this team. That's what we have to be. So it can't just be me. There's got to be guys like Adam Butler, Tyree, you know, whoever that's going to be. You know, John Jenkins, sometimes one of the biggest dudes on the field, is flying around. Like that's what it's about. You know, having guys that buy into what really matters, and that's winning and improving. So, yeah, it's awesome to hear and see. And it just got to be consistent. That's what it really comes down to. You know, NFL is all about consistency, and the best of the best are consistent on a daily basis. So you can't just have energy one day and then show up the next day, and you know, the next time you're a little bit down, it doesn't matter about your feelings. You just got to go out there and be the best version of you.
How important is it for the defense to have that mentality that it doesn't make a difference if the offense scores 10 or 100? You're going to win the game.
You said what, sir?
How important is it for the defense to continue to have the mentality that it doesn't make a difference if the offense scores 10 or 100 points, that you guys will be in a position to win the game?
Yeah, you know, every game's different. Every week's different. Sometimes, like, I mean, we played Baltimore. I feel like we played a pretty damn good game. We played the Chargers. We shut them down the first half, and then they leaked. They had 2 big runs, and you know what I mean? It's like, that's why the consistency is so important, because all it takes is one play to start to get the ball rolling. So, yeah, we've done some good things, and then you have Carolina coming here, and Carolina had a really good game. So, it's how you respond. And if you have an issue, if there's something that's wrong, you address it and you move forward, and that's how, you know, you stay consistent and consistently win this league. So that's what we, you know, plan on doing, and that's what we're focused on.
Thanks, Max.